Hello traders, it's your boy Gift Ubakwe. Welcome to another video on my YouTube channel. Thank you guys for your support. I really appreciate it. We are actually sitting at 166 subscribers right now. I'm looking forward to when I'm going to be saying 166,000 subscribers, Let's keep it going, guys. Thank you so much for the love. I appreciate that a lot. And I'm also going to keep doing my best to upload the best content out here on YouTube, to share my journey and to share whatever knowledge I've gathered in the past 1 year, 5 months, thereabouts. All right, so let's get straight into today's video. So if you watch this video to the end, I'm going to take the time to explain how my Forex Funds drawdown rule works. All right, so someone reached out to me on WhatsApp asking me to explain the drawdown rules on my Forex funds. And I know most of us are busy. We don't really have time to go through all of the FAQs and all of the rules, because it's a bit tricky on my Forex funds. And that's why this video has been created to help you solve that problem. So all you need to do is spend, 5-10 minutes watching this video, and then you get the answers you are looking for. So let's get straight into it so the video is not too long. All right, and please, before we get into this, do well to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Do well to like this video if you're a returning subscriber. Thank you so much. If this is your first time on my YouTube channel, I'm on this journey to become an amazing forex trader, and I want you to join me on this journey, as we learn together and share ideas. Go ahead and subscribe to this channel and like this video if you like it. Let's get straight into this. All right, so this is in the FAQ of my Forex fund. So it says, how is the daily drawdown calculated? I'm going to read out this and explain it based on experience. All right, so the daily drawdown rule is 5% of the starting equity or balance of the day, whichever is higher. All right, this is very important to note. It says the daily drawdown rule is 5% of the starting equity or balance. So my Forex fund doesn't use a fixed 5% drawdown rule. That's not what they do. All right, so let's read through this. All right, so it starts counting every 5 p.m. EST. All right, so this is also what we're going to look at. We're going to try to look at what this means, and then you try to convert this to your own local time, so you know exactly what time this countdown starts or what time a new day begins, because this is exactly what they're saying. They're saying every beginning of a new trading day, they are going to reset the account to start calculating your 5% drawdown rule. All right, so as we get into this, I'll explain when we get to the practical part of this. All right, so daily drawdown rule is not calculated, is not fixed. Pay attention to this. It said it's not a fixed 5% or initial starting balance. So your daily drawdown is not fixed 5% of initial starting balance. For example, pay attention now. This is where we get into the practical part of things. All right, it says if your starting equity is $103,000, but your starting balance is $100,000. So what it means, for example, is you got funded with $100,000 on my Forex fund, all right, or you're trying a challenge on my Forex fund with $100,000, and then you have open trades you have not closed, running in a profit of $3,000. All right, so the trades are running in a profit of $3,000. That's how your equity arrives at $103,000. So my Forex fund is saying they're not going to pay attention to the fact that your starting balance is $100,000. They are going to focus on your equity, which is $103,000. That's $100,000 plus your $3,000 profit floating. All right, I hope that's clear enough. All right, so then the daily drawdown will be based on your starting equity because it's higher. So their focus is, we actually focus our calculation based on the highest between your starting equity or your starting balance. All right, so if your starting equity is higher, then we are going to focus our attention on that for the calculation of your drawdown rule. But if your starting balance is higher, they are also going to focus their attention on calculating your drawdown rule based on your starting balance. So let's take this a bit further now. So using your equity, which is your starting balance of $100,000 and your profit of $3,000, to calculate your 5%. So in this case, your 5% will now be $5,150. Now this looks like your equity or your drawdown percentage is high, but it's not. It's not really a positive in this sense, because guess what? You have $100,000 in your account. That's what it means. But then you are making a profit floating of $3,000. So my forex fund is saying they are adding your floating profit to your balance to calculate your drawdown rule. Yeah. So what it means is, let's go down now. It says your account balance or equity cannot go below $103,000 minus 515 or $5,150. So you see why this is not why a lot of people lose their accounts because of this. Now look at this. So you are looking at your account and you're seeing that your account is still sitting at 9,000 or 97,850. Of course, you are like, I started with $100,000, so I've not blown my account. I still have $2,000 more or less for the day. But that's not so. My forex fund is just going to flag your account that you have broken a rule. All right. So if you don't pay attention to this, it will come back to bite you. So this is what you must pay attention to. So you see that your account can be sitting at $97,850, but yet you have blown. Whereas if this was a fixed calculation, if this was fixed, that means you would still have $2,850 to play with for the day. That means originally from your starting capital, you lost just $2,150. That's what it means. So imagine losing $2,150 and blowing your account just because of my forex funds calculation based on equity. So please guys, pay attention to this so you don't fall victim. Like I said, towards the end of the video, we're going to look at what it means, what 5 p.m. EST means. All right, what does 5 p.m. EST means? Then we can convert it to your local time wherever you're based in the world, so you can get the exact time when this calculation begins. So it helps you to stay away from breaking this rule. So let's take this further now and see the other example they gave. So if your starting equity is $95,000, so pay attention to this part as well. If your starting equity is $95,000, but your starting balance is $9,000, oh sorry, I keep saying 9,000. Your starting balance is $97,000. So what this means is you are in a trade. Listen to this again. So if your starting equity is $95,000, but your starting balance is $97,000, so it means you are in a trade, but you are running at a loss of $2,000. That's what it means here. All right. So the first example, you are in a trade running in a profit. Now this second example, you are in a trade, but you are running in a loss of $2,000, floating loss on this trade. So it means if you close it at the exact price now, you are going to be losing $2,000. All right. But you started with $97,000. So let's continue with this now. It says then the daily drawdown will be based on your starting balance because it's higher. You get? So they are not focusing on your equity. All right. So you open the trade and you carry the trade overnight, and the trade is running at a loss of $2,000. My forex fund is not even going to pay attention to your equity. They are going to pay attention to your starting balance, which is higher, which is $97,000. All right. So now they are going to calculate your 5% based as your 5% drawdown based on this $97,000. Very important. They are going to calculate your 5% based on this $97,000. All right. So the lower your account goes, the lower your 5% goes. So you don't always have a fixed 5% daily drawdown. So you might come into this trade and feeling like, oh, I have 5,000 to play with. That's not so, my friend. That's not so. You don't have $5,000 to play with here. All right. You don't have $5,000 to play with. What you actually have based on this calculation is $4,850. That's what you have. All right. So your account balance and equity cannot go below $97,000 minus this drawdown calculation for the day, which is $97,000 minus $4,850. So what it means is, if your account gets to $92,150, you have blown this account. But if you look at the math, all right, I have $97,000. If you subtract $92,150 from this, you realize that I still have, $100 and something to play with, $150 probably to play with, for me to get to my $5,000 daily drawdown rule. But that's not the case. So the same thing applies no matter the size of your account. If you're trading a $5,000 account, what's it called now, a $10,000 account, a $15,000 account, as the case may be, the drawdown rule remains the same. It's not fixed, guys. The drawdown rule on my forex fund is not fixed. All right, it's not fixed. You always want to reset and calculate your drawdown rule from the beginning of a new day, which for them is 5 p.m. EST. All right, guys, so now that we've talked about all of those drawdown rules and everything about the daily drawdown, so your drawdown rule for the maximum drawdown. So if you're starting with a $10,000, for example, your maximum drawdown is actually going to be fixed. Let me not mix up that. All right, it's going to be fixed. So that means you can't lose more than 12% on that account. So the moment your account gets to $8,800, you have lost that account. You have lost that account. However, for the daily drawdown rule, that's where it becomes tricky. All right, the daily drawdown rule becomes tricky, and now that's what we've tried to do here. So let me even go to a $10,000 account. So let me grab my calculator here. All right, so say you're trading a $10,000 account, and then you have a starting balance of $9,200. So you're on a drawdown of $800 on this account. All right, so what would be your daily maximum loss on this balance right now? Let's do that. So you multiply by 0.05. all right, multiply by 0.05, I think. Then you see, so it's not even up to 5%. So it means your drawdown for this day is going to be $460. But if you don't know this, you end up trading and you see $460 loss, and you feel like I still have $40 to go, you would blow the account. All right, you would blow the account. So in the same vein, if you're trading a $5,000 account and your account is sitting at 4,200, what will be your drawdown for the day? You do 0.05. Now you realize that you have $210 to trade with. All right, not 250. You have $210. I believe 5% of 5,000, if my math is correct. Let's do this. 5,000 times 0.05 should be 250 exactly. So you realize that you have 210 in the previous example as against 250. So this is very important. But now let's pay attention to this EST. EST here means Eastern Standard Time. All right, so let's try to convert. I saw this converter that makes sense. You can check it out. So this converter is going to help you get the conversion from EST to your local time. Okay, so Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. is what my forex fund says. So if I typed in 5 p.m. here and then converted to West African time, which is my local time, all right, once I hit calculate, guess what? It tells me that this time is actually 10 p.m. my local time. So every day at 10 p.m. there is a reset on my account. Every day at 10 p.m. there is a reset on my account. I don't know what is going to be for you in your country, so do the conversion to know. All right, do the conversion based on wherever country you're based, and so you'll know what time my forex fund does the reset. So if your account is floating at a loss, you want to close it before the beginning of a new day. If it's floating on the loss, but you know that you're expecting it to come back in profit, awesome, but you want to trail your stop so it doesn't go beyond that loss, because you know if you keep losing, you could lose your account. All right, I hope this information has been helpful, and I really want you to support my channel. Go ahead and click the like button if you like this video, because I'll keep uploading new videos answering your questions. So if you have any questions, do well to drop them in the comment section, and let me know what you think about this video. If it's helpful or not, drop a comment for me on the comment section. Smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, guys. Let's drive this channel to 1,000 subscribers. Thank you, guys. See you on the next one. Peace.